boy in his Bible here, I want to give you an unusual verse from Obadiah today for you to take away with you. But let me tell you that Obadiah was a prophecy that was against another nation called Edom, and this was the nation that came from the half brother of um, Isaac, Jacob, Esau, not the half brother, the twin brother of Jacob. And this is the sad story of them. They, on two occasions, decided not to help the descendants of Jacob when they desperately needed help. You can read that through. And what you have here, therefore, is say a judgment on the nations for the way they treated Israel. And there's a verse that you have to think about for a moment when you read it. It is this one, and you can understand it in the context that upon Mount Zion will be deliverance. Upon Mount Zion will be deliverance. This meant that Jerusalem as a nation was going to be the strong nation, not the nations or the buildings or the cities of Eden. This was going to be the ultimate deliverance that was to come. Now, it's an interesting thing that in the Bible, how important Israel looked at Jerusalem as something that was extraordinarily gifted by God to them. It had been occupied before, of course, the Jewish people, but once the Jewish people occupied it, when they came into the land, then and David became the king that conquered it, then it became a symbol of all that God was doing and was and would do for the children of Israel. The deliverance would always become there. Now we know it didn't happen. So we're dealing with a prophecy that is a true prophecy in that the city should have been everything to them if the Jewish people at that time had been true to God and to their Christian faith or their Bible faith. And they wasn't. You notice I corrected Christian to Bible then. On Mount Zion would be their deliverance. Now, it's been one of those extraordinary things in prophecy that although this one, which was written, I don't know, 600 years BC, they didn't realize that by talking about a future city called Zion, Jerusalem, of which deliverance would come, that the ultimate city that would come down out of heaven as a bride dressed for her husband would be called Jerusalem. And what a magnificent city. Total deliverance was there at Jerusalem. Now, what did you need deliverance from? You needed deliverance from your enemies, big and large, far away and nearer. And from time to time, those enemies would come and destroy Jerusalem, not rebuild it, not be a place of deliverance. But Jerusalem slowly would come back, and back again, and back again, and back again. And throughout the history of the last 2,500 years of Jewish history, Jerusalem is still there. Still for many a place of deliverance. Yes, down, but also up, down and also up, destroyed and also rebuilt. And that's the only city I know of any major significance in the world today, that have had that kind of treatment. Oh, I know of Jericho and other places that I know of that are older than Jerusalem. But this is one that has been deliverance that's been coming from them. But not only was it a Jewish promise that goes all the way through our New Testament to the times of the millennium, and part of the experience, the remnant of Jewish Christians now is also part of that millennium. But also the Christian line goes all the way to the millennium. You may have heard me say that before and talk upon that before. But here it is, deliverance. Now, they needed deliverance from their enemies. They needed deliverance within their groups. They needed deliverance within their families. And like all of us, they needed deliverance personally. And so you see the application, what I call impact. You see the impact on my life. I could have deliverance. There were many things I needed. I needed deliverance from my father. I needed deliverance from bullies because my speech was a problem when I was 15, 16 and 17. I've needed deliverance from time to time from bullies within the church. Always some people who seem to be superior in some kind of way. And I needed deliverance from myself. And then one day I discovered there was no condemnation in Christ Jesus, the ultimate deliverance. Verse for the day. Upon Mount Zion will be deliverance. Next time it's Jonah, and you all know about the story of the fish.